Hello everybody, my name is BearCozy and we just got new heroes in today's most recent patch, and that is what I want to go over. So if you are new and you don't know me, my name is BearCozy. I strive to make not only entertaining but also educational videos, and I wanted to bring you this update since today's patch. We have some new heroes and Virgil is one of them. He is amazing looking and we're going to go over them together right now. So let's jump into it. I'm in the wrong place. Let's go to the index. The first one I want to start off with is, of course, Garnet. She is brand new. She's looking a little bit creepy, but kind of cool. She's got a little bit of that twitch going on. If you look at her, she twitches a little bit. There are several new heroes in today's patch, and she is one of them. And what I want to do is I want to actually take a look at her, go over her kit, and then go to the next one. She looks kind of cool. She has this Edicris skin going on, or Edicris doll, I guess I should say. And I just realized she's a wind-up toy, so that's kind of neat. Did not notice that beforehand because of all the floating orbs. But she's actually kind of cool. She's got some keys going on here on her dress, and the wind-up key all the way in the back. So if we go ahead and look at her trait is called Stardust. Grants 1 rage upon the use of any ally's special or ultimate abilities following this character's death. So that's kind of an interesting trait there. This character revives with 50% max health, and all ability cooldowns shortened by 1 turn upon reaching 3 rage. So that's kind of interesting, and I wonder if she can pair really well with Barbareth. So the next one is, let's go to her basic. Her basic is called Meteor Slam. Launches a strike dealing 120% damage to an enemy, which ricochets between enemies 2 times, so twice. Damage scales with this character's speed. So that's another interesting perk she's got here, that her damage scales with speed. And we are starting to see some heroes where their skills scale with speed. That's kind of interesting there. Her special is called Curtain of Heaven. And of course, she is a dark hero. She's a dark legendary, which is kind of neat. You don't see too many of those. Launches 3 strikes against random enemies, each dealing 100% damage that scale with this character's speed while removing 1 positive effect, or inflicting defense down for 2 turns if without it. So while she's launching the 3 strikes against random enemies, if they have defense down, she will remove 1 positive effect, and if they do not, she will put defense down on them. And that is the way I'm reading it. So that's kind of really neat. You can specialize, or you can tweak her to go either first for the defense down, or you can tweak her to go later to remove positive effects. And as I mentioned before, she will most likely pair really well with Edicris and Barbareth. I know Barbareth is not the best, but their traits will work in sync together, and that's going to be really cool. Her ultimate is Astral Doomsday, deals 120% damage to all enemies that scales based off the difference between the target speed and this hero's speed. That is very, very interesting. So the faster she is, the more damage she does. Inflicts no positive effects for 2 turns on the target, plus 50% chance to sleep for 1 turn. And that is really, really crazy. And since she hits all enemies, she looks like she has a chance to place sleep on all enemies. So you're guaranteed to get at least 1 or 2, which is kind of cool. And I shouldn't say guaranteed because it's a 50% chance. It could miss all of the enemies, but chances are you're going to get at least 1. So that is really, really neat. And sleep, of course, makes them unable to act. Plus negative 100% crit resistance when attacked, and it removes sleep. So that is really, really cool. I'm excited for her. She is not my best looking hero. She's not my favorite looking hero. But she is a dark hero, which is really nice. And she does have a really good kit. Moving on to the next hero in the lineup. The next brand new hero in the lineup is going to be under Lacer faction, and it is actually going to be Trista. She's kind of neat. She looks like they took her out of Diablo maybe a little bit. She is a fire element, and if we go over her trait, Starfire is her trait. Damage inflicts ignite for 2 turns on targets without ignite, or else she has a 80% chance to detonate all the ignite on the target, inflicting stun for 1 turn if ignite is present. So she is obviously very well paired with somebody who has ignite, somebody like Azrina. Now, I know Azrina is not great. She's a good free-to-play option. She's not great. But now we have an option to build an ignite detonation team, and that's going to be kind of cool. I am curious to try this out. I have not pulled for her yet. I don't have her yet, but I'm sure there's going to be videos, and I am going to be trying this at some point, building an ignite explosion team. That's going to be very, very cool. Her basic is called Fire Arrow, deals 120% damage to one enemy with 60% chance of launching a bonus attack with the basic ability if the target's attack is lower than this character's, or 30% if not. So if the target's attack is lower than hers, she has a 60% chance to launch a bonus attack. And if the target's attack is higher than hers, she has a 30% chance to launch attack. And of course, she's going to be really good in the Banker as well, like Banker, because she's got that extra ability. Her passive is called Spark of Misfortune, reduces 50% damage from non-boss attackers affected by Ignite. So that is really, really good. The reduction in damage from the other team after Ignite is placed is going to be very huge. And then if we look at her ultimate is called Inferno Volley, boosts focus by 30%, launches a volley of 4 to 6 fire arrows at random enemies, each dealing 60% damage with a 50% chance of removing one positive effect from the target. So that's kind of cool. She's not the best looking, but she is an epic, and she does have that dark theme, I guess, that darkness about her, and kind of reminds me a little bit of Diablo. She is the next hero in the most recent patch. She is brand new, and we're going to move on to the next one. And the next one is going to be in Sylvan Woodlands, and that is actually going to be my favorite looking hero as of right now. It's going to be Holy Armor Virgil, and Holy Armor Virgil is light element, and you can see just how badass he looks. He looks amazing. Reminds me a lot of Tyrael. I absolutely love the wings. Not sure why he's in the Sylvan Woodlands, but there he is. He needs to be in the Holy Light Empire. However, he's in the Woodlands, and he looks amazing. Let's go over his kit together. He is our brand new Light Legendary, which is going to be difficult to get, but somebody is going to get him. Looking at his trait is called Armor Undying. Removes one negative effect from this character upon taking damage and restores health equal to 35% of his attack. That is awesome. And when he is ascended, it's going to restore health equal to 50% of his attack. So that he's going to be badass on defense in Arena. He's going to be very, very difficult to kill. And if we look at his basic, Vanguard of the Shimmering is his basic. Deals 150% damage to one enemy with 50% chance to extend the cooldown of the target's abilities by one turn. The chance to trigger increases to 100% if affected by Wings of Light. Wings of Light, of course, attacks shorten ultimate cooldowns by one turn and enhance all abilities. And we're going to get to that very, very shortly. If we go ahead and look at his special is called Chastisement. Deals 100% damage to all enemies and removes one positive effect from each with a further bonus attack on the main target for 100% damage upon removal. That is really cool. He hits all enemies, and then he has a bonus attack to hit one more enemy. This attack ignores 50% defense in the Wings of Light state. So if he has Wings of Light active, kind of like Garel's Asura state, he ignores 50% defense, and that is a huge damage boost right there. Ethereal Punishment is his ultimate. It deals 250% damage to an enemy and maximizes the cooldowns of the target's abilities. That is really, really interesting. This attack deals plus 50% damage in the Wings of Light state, and it grants Wings of Light state for 2 turns upon expiration. So that is really, really neat. And then, of course, Wings of Light attacks shorten ultimate cooldowns by 1 turn and enhances all abilities. That is absolutely amazing. And he's also amazing looking. I am going to try to pull some shards. The chances of getting a Light Legendary is 1%. Very, very low. However, I am going to get a Light Legendary at some point. I don't think I have one just yet, and I am going to try. Going over to the next hero, it's going to be under Titan Icelands, and the next hero is actually an epic. Epena is the next hero, and she's a kid. She's a kid in a bear helmet and a bear costume, and looks kind of cool. Quite honestly, I really like big, powerful heroes, but they did a really good job. She's got the bear costume, she's got the bear claws, she's got some kind of a wooden-made axe. Looks like it was handmade by her daddy or something. And then she's got the boots, the bear boots, and the bear helmet. Poor bear, had to kill a bear to get it, but she is a warrior nonetheless. She is a wood element, which makes her kind of cool. So if we go ahead and look at her trait is called Grizzly Rage. Attacks ignore 10% up to 40% of enemy's defense per negative effect on the target. And when she's ascended, they ignore up to 80% of enemies' defense per negative effect on the target. So the idea is to stack as many negative effects on the enemy as you can. That is her trait. If we go ahead and look at her basic, Savage Blade is her basic. It deals 80% damage to one enemy and applies random stats down for 2 turns. I am not a big fan of random stats. Random stats down, of course, if we look to the left, applies a random negative effect to reduce one of the following stats: either defense, attack, speed, crit rate, crit damage, focus, or resistance. One thing that is not very clear here is that if it's 2 stats down or 3. I would imagine it's 2 because it does not say random stat. It does not say one applies one random stat from the list. It says random stats, so I'm assuming it can be a combination of 2 or 3. We'll have to see when the hero is actually pulled. We'll do some testing. We'll do some experimentation. If we look at her special, Law of the Jungle, it deals 120% damage to an enemy and duplicates all their negative effects onto one enemy, restores 30% max health. This almost kind of has a similar special to Santa's, where Santa's special duplicates all of the poisons and transfers them to one other enemy. This duplicates all negative effects and it duplicates it onto one enemy, which is actually interesting. It duplicates all of the negative effects and transfers it to one enemy, and it restores 30% max health. And that is kind of a neat skill. It also has the restoration of max health, which is really, really nice. And that is on a 3-turn cooldown. If we go ahead and look at her ultimate, Barbarous Intimidation is her ultimate. Deals 150% damage to an enemy and applies no positive effects for 2 turns. Unfortunately, it only hits one enemy, so you have to be mindful of that. Damage increases by 50% against enemies under 4 or more negative effects. So she is paired really, really well with somebody who stacks lots of negative effects on the enemy. And that's going to be kind of cool. And of course, no positive effects. This character will not be affected by any subsequent positive effects. So there we are. I believe that's it for new heroes. We have a couple of epics. We have a legendary. One of them is in the Titan Icelands. One of them is in the Sylvan Woodlands, which of course is the Holy Light Virgil. Holy Armor Virgil. He looks amazing. Then of course, if we look at Lacer, Lacer has Trista. Trista is a fire element. She is also an epic as the first one we looked at. And then if we look at the Holy Light Empire, we do have Garnet, which is a dark legendary. So we have a dark legendary, we have a light legendary, and we have 2 epics. And that is really, really cool. And you can find them under the Holy Light Empire, Lacer, Sylvan Woodlands, and Titan Icelands. So there it is. These are the new heroes. 2 legendaries, 2 epics that we're looking at, and you can find them here. My favorite one, of course, being Virgil. Virgil, Light Armor Virgil, looks amazing. He is a light hero, and he reminds me of Tyrael. And Tyrael is my favorite Diablo character, which is really cool. I really love the way he looks. Right now, I just pulled some shards for Garonal, and I am working on saving up some more so we can pull some more shards together. Hopefully, we'll get Holy Light Virgil. Thank you everyone for watching. That's going to do it for this video. Do me a favor, hit the like and the subscribe down below to help me grow the channel. Also, leave me a nice comment. Let me know if you are pulling for these heroes or if you have gotten any of these brand new heroes. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.